So I saw a new thing trending this morning, and it really, I don't know, man. It somewhat wasn't even surprising, but it's just sad. I mean, how have we gotten so lost and so confused and so deluded in our own ideas? Like, we build things up in our own minds so much that we let go of reality. And that's where I think it's going. It's not that people are literally mentally delusional. They're not. This isn't insanity. This isn't a crazy thing. This isn't a psychological disorder. No, what it comes down to is people build up in their own head what they want things to be. People live their own truth. The thing that was trending that got to me was this idea. There was so many posts. It was trending on YouTube. It was on X. Just people talking about feminism and OnlyFans. Feminism. Now, I've heard people say stuff like this for a long time. You know, I spent a long time listening to, hip hop music, and women were objectified a lot. And then as women tried to break into the hip hop genre, it was something that they objectified themselves in order to take back the power, so to speak. There's been women in history throughout years and years and years. Marilyn Monroe, if you know her actual story, she tried to take control of her own self by being in control of how she was objectified. She objectified herself and took the power for herself. That's how she felt. It's a tragic story, honestly. It's not, I grew up watching a lot of the old movies. I liked watching the movies with Elvis and James Dean, and I liked watching the movies with Marilyn Monroe, Jack Lemmon. It's great. It's great. And some of them were a little cheesy, but some of them were fun. But I watched a lot of these movies with my mom. There was something cool about them, But then when you get into the story, like of Marilyn, what set her apart from some of those other, most of those other people are men. Most of the other people at the time were men. What set her different, it was just this tragic situation of how she was victimized. She was taken advantage of, as many people, it's not just women, many people are taken advantage of in Hollywood. Many people have been taken, and this is not an attack on Hollywood, but it's true. Many people, that's what happens, is it doesn't matter if it's in Hollywood or if it's in big businesses or if it's in small businesses. It's a person in position of power who thinks that they can wield that power over someone who doesn't have that power. And that's what happens. That happens every day. It happens all over the place. And Hollywood has definitely been a big part of that, because people get in Hollywood and there's this, the big difference of Hollywood, unlike so many other businesses, is that it's like you have to do whatever it takes to succeed. Whatever it takes, right? So that's the idea, is whatever it takes. Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Are you willing to look the other way when you're objectified? Are you willing to look the other way when you're, mistreated, shortchanged, profiled? Whatever it is, are you willing to look the other way and deal with that? Okay, I don't want to get sidetracked too much with Hollywood, but the thing that got me is, we've seen it for years, right? All these different people, all these different situations where women felt by taking back that power, or maybe not taking back the power, but by objectifying themselves before they were objectifying that they took the power. Now we're in an age of smartphones and instant gratification, instant access to the web, to the internet, instant access right on our phone. Anybody and everybody knows how to post things. Most people know how to build websites. There's templates. There's, you can build your own. But the thing is there's all these licenses and there's all these different things. So when you have something like OnlyFans, right, where it's like, hey, you set up shop here. You set up shop here. You post your pictures. You post your videos. You post your content. From what I hear, from what I've heard, some people, it's not even that bad, but a lot of people, I mean, it's extremely explicit. It just kind of depends on the different people. I've never been on the website and have no intention of ever going to the website, so I don't really know. But like I said, I have heard that some of it is just kind of exclusive content, but you can't even get away from the fact that that negative connotation of the objectification and the sexuality is there. Even if you're one of the very, very fine, small percentage of people that you're not doing all of that stuff, it doesn't matter. You're a part of that, right? You kind of get lumped into the group. And there's all these people now, they're posting these videos and they're posting these pictures and they're building their profiles and they're making money off of objectifying themselves. Now, there will be these people, I've heard people in little interviews, little podcasts, little TikToks, little reels, where they'll get on there and they'll try to justify what they're doing. Well, how is it any different than these influencers who are getting, people like me, who are getting on here, putting ourselves out there and, sharing information? Well, what I'm doing is not trying to exploit myself. What I'm doing is not lowering the level of respect for myself. What I'm doing is I'm being free and I'm being willing to put myself out there and say, hey, you know what? I got some information, I got some opinions, and I'm going to share them. And if they help you, they help you. If they don't, they don't. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I'm not going to help everybody, but I'm absolutely going to help all those that I can. And that's a difference. That's definitely a big difference. But they try to blur those lines a little bit so they can say, hey, well, I'm not doing anything different than anybody else. You are, and that's okay. And the reality is that if you look at my content, a lot of my content is definitely focused around financial freedom, right? Being the fact that it's based on financial freedom and helping people to get to a better place in their business as well as in their life so they can be in a better position in the hopefully near future or even later future to be financially free and no longer be burdened and shackled down by, a punch clock or be shackled down by their overwhelming debt or their bills and things like that. So there's definitely a huge focus, no matter how many ways I spin that and how many ways I look at it, there's definitely an emphasis and a focus on money, right? There is. Okay, now because of that, and because I put this out there and I put it out there for all to see, I've been attacked countless times. Countless times I've been attacked that I'm superficial, materialistic, and that I'm focused all on money and I'm not looking at, what's really the true value in people. And okay, maybe they feel that way and maybe they have reasons for, I sometimes come off abrasive. That's okay. I'm not mad. But the thing is that what was the common theme in all the reels and podcasts and little snippets that I saw this morning was that they didn't like being judged. They didn't like being judged. And I even saw some people commenting on some of these and they're like, well, if you're going to be judged, then you have to live up to this level of perfection. It's like, no, you don't have to be perfect in anything. Nobody's saying you have to be perfect, but the reality is that whatever you do, anytime you take your phone out and do as I'm doing right this moment, and you start recording yourself with the intent of posting it online, then once you do post it online, now if you record it and you give yourself a second thought and you're like, I'm not posting that, then, whatever. But if you actually go through the efforts of posting it online, like I'm about to do shortly, then what happens is someone is going to pass judgment. Now, there may be someone who likes it. There may be someone who actually pays you for your content. There may be which one of my goals is not only to help people, of course, not everything I do, not anything most of us do is altruistic. The reality is I'm definitely hoping that this helps people get more ideas and helps them put them in a better position in life, but also gets more people to subscribe to my channel, follow what I'm doing, it broadens my audience and helps grow my business even further. I absolutely hope that. People who post on OnlyFans, they're hoping to get subscribers. They're hoping to get subscribers who are paying them a monthly fee to see their content or paying a bigger fee to get exclusive content. I've heard there's different levels. You're going to be judged. If you don't want to be judged, don't put yourself out there. But the thing is you're going to be judged no matter what you do. It's just a matter of how you want to walk away being judged. Do you want to walk away, people saying, well, he worked a 9 to 5 his whole life and he could have started a business and he could have done, better for his family. I mean, he barely got by and he struggled, but he worked his butt off. I respect that. See, I mean, it's like when you can walk away with a level of respect. It's like, well, they got all this money and they're doing so great and all this and blah, blah, blah. But look what they did to themselves. And now they want to get married and now they have kids and now this and this is what their children can see. Because some of that stuff gets wrapped up in the internet and it gets wrapped up in the internet and you can never take it down. Now, most of these websites and things like this, like, oh yeah, you could delete it. But the thing is a lot of these websites, people can go on there. People have apps now. People have apps and things on their phones that they can just, software, whatever, where they can take snippets and they can repost your stuff. And yeah, you can try to sue them and try to get on copyright infringement. But I mean, now you're through a legal battle over your body that you put out there in the first place. You don't want to be judged, do better. I mean, this is plain and simple. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's absurd that this is a level of feminism that people are saying, well, I'm a feminist, but I think because I'm a feminist, women should be able to exploit themselves opposed to being exploited. I thought women had fought for so long to stop being objectified, to stop being exploited. But now they're wanting the freedom to exploit themselves. But on top of being able to exploit themselves, I want to exploit myself and I do not want to be judged for it. I'm judged. I'm judged all the time. It's just what happens. You get judged. We all get judged. It's okay. But I know that everything I'm doing with good intentions. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to grow my business. I'm trying to build for my family, build for those around me. When people judge me, it's a misunderstanding. It's a misconception. Or we just have a difference of opinions. I'm not going to be so egotistical to say, oh, well, if they disagree with me, then something's wrong with them. No. Sometimes we just disagree, and that's okay. This is just something I've been thinking about. I can't wrap my head around how we've gotten to this point and where feminists are now fighting for their right to exploit one another and to objectify each other and to objectify themselves. We're becoming more and more lost every day. It's what's sad is that we've always had problems. I'm a firm believer that the world's not that much worse than it's been. The world's always been pretty rough. But the thing is every time we fight to take a step forward, there's so many people that are trying to drag it backwards. Let's take a stand and stop dragging each other backwards. Let's do better. It's your boy. I'm out.